Welcome back. Lauren Kudlowik usually joins us in the kitchen on Wednesdays, but today we have a bonus edition of Cooking with Lauren K on this Memorial Day as we look back at the time she stopped by to make a recipe that works for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are in the kitchen for another segment of Cooking with Lauren K. Hello, Lauren.
Hello, Dawn.
Welcome back. So what are you doing today for us?
So, breakfast is one of my favorite meals, but I love to make dishes that can be eaten for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And this is an amazing dish. Have you ever had quiche?
You know what? I don't know if I ever have. Isn't that weird?
Usually quiche has a pie crust on the bottom, and then you fill it with eggs and whatever fillings you want,
You know what? I
sometimes
bet I
bacon, cheese.
But maybe once.
So, I love to eat quiche, but you kind of don't notice the pie crust under there, but it just kind of added fat and calories and money, too.
That's true.
So I came up with a crustless quiche. You eliminate the crust, but you have all the fillings, and you still have the look and taste of a crust, but no crust. And so it's ultra healthy for you. We're going to add some veggies in there, and it's going to be very affordable. Only $4 and a penny for this dish today, and it serves 8 people for breakfast.
That is a deal. All right, so how do we get started?
All right, so we are going to start with our pie pan, and you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Now,
which you already did.
Spraying your pan with cooking spray is very important in this one because there's no crust on the bottom to prevent
So it
sticking.
doesn't stick, yeah.
And we are going to start to build our quiche with broccoli. Now,
Okay.
you can use fresh broccoli, or you can use bagged frozen broccoli, which I'm using here. It's about 2 cups of broccoli. And I just used the regular, about $1.25 at the grocery store, or you could use your own.
Okay.
And then we're going to add green onions, which are these little guys here. Very affordable at the grocery store. And you're going to cut the ends off. You just kind of, I like to wash them first, and then you're just going to give them a rough chop. And this is going to be the second flavor in our quiche. Or some people call them scallions, green onions, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But they're going to add some nice oniony flavor, but they're not a very like pungent raw onion flavor. So whenever you're trying to add that flavor of an onion, but you don't want that raw onion flavor, a green onion is a perfect way to go.
Okay.
So there's 3 green onions there, and I'm going to sprinkle those over our broccoli.
Okay.
And that's going to be the base and the vegetables in our quiche. This is a really good vegetarian dish. If you were trying to, you know, eliminate meat, I have some relatives that are vegetarians, and eggs with the vegetables is the perfect way to go.
Yeah.
So I have 8 eggs in my bowl, and I'm going to crack those yolks, and I'm going to add a cup of milk.
Okay.
I like to use a low-fat milk, and then we're going to season with salt and pepper, just to kind of bring out the flavor of the egg there.
Okay.
And I got my dad's pepper grinder here.
Trusty pepper grinder.
Everybody always asks me, they're like, where did you get that pepper grinder? I'm like, my dad made it.
It's so neat.
Yes. So we're going to whisk up these eggs. And sometimes people, you know, don't want all the fat from the eggs. There's really not a lot of fat in this dish, but you could do half whole eggs and half egg whites if you wanted to.
Okay.
And you're just going to beat that like you would for scrambled eggs. And the milk in there kind of makes it nice and light and fluffy and kind of adds some volume to your egg. And then we're going to add feta cheese. I have a half a cup of feta cheese, which is a nice, flavorful, salty cheese. It's a Greek cheese. But you don't need a lot of it to get a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
And I get them in these little packages here. And we're going to use half a cup. You can get them pre-crumbled, or you could cut them up yourself.
Okay.
I like to get like the big chunks of feta cheese and cut it up myself. Kind of adds an extra little bit of flavor than if they're pre-crumbled. So you're going to get your feta cheese in there, and then all we're going to do is pour it all over our pie crust here. And the egg is going to get right nice and down into that broccoli and green onion. And I like to take my fork and mash it down and make sure that you have bites of feta everywhere and broccoli and green onion everywhere. And that is it. How simple was that?
All right.
So then this is going to go into the oven for about 35 minutes. And I have one in here for you to see.
Okay.
Magic of television.
There you
go. And a lot of people want to know, well, how do I know if this is done? Sometimes I'll take the pan and I'll shake it to see if it moves. And also you can take a butter knife and stick it down through. And if it comes out clean,
you're good
done.
to go.
So this is going to serve 8 people. And if you want to grab a plate there, Dawn, you can have a bite.
Here we go. And let me see if I have a
And
there.
Our stats on this one, 125 calories.
Wow.
7 grams of fat, and this would be a
Look how nice that looks.
low-carb dish.
Wow.
There's no bread in there, and if you're trying to watch, sugar and carbohydrates, look at that there. So beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
This is the perfect dish for that. I like to pair it with, a cup of berries or a side of whole wheat toast. Perfect breakfast there. So
Wow.
$4 and a penny, 125 calories, low sugar, low carb breakfast. This is going to keep you full until lunchtime.
Delicious. Thank you, Lauren. And the recipe is on your website,
LaurenKCooking.com.
and ours, CentralPATV.com. Thanks so much.
You are welcome.
Very tasty.
Enjoy.